This is a review on the Icarsoft CR MAX. This particular one is a 2AWD8-CRMAX. That's a list of the specifications there. It's an Android OS. It looks like it's got some optional devices you can buy for specifically checking Mercedes and BMW. But in general it's an OBD2 diagnostics port. It's a blow moulded case. Does have some quite decent clamps to close shut the case, but it doesn't have any specific hinges as such on the case. They're just like a welded seam. It's got a 1.2 meter diagnostics lead. It plugs into the device. Charger for the device. Diagnostics cable has a protector to keep the moisture out and dust out of the OBD2 port. It's the 240 volt 122 40 volt charger, but it's actually a UK plug, so it'll only be 240. The device has got like a soft touch. It's like speakers are at the back. It does have sound. It can play video and music. It's also got a bar that pulls out so you can actually stand it upright. So if you are watching something or running through some of the data that you've captured, there's an instruction manual. I'll send a link for the instruction manual in case it's something that you want to look at before you purchased it. This particular one's come from Albionshire Diagnostics again, so I'll send you the link for that at the bottom as well. The power on, once it actually comes up, you can just slide up from the bottom and it'll automatically log you in. When I first started this device, there was nothing under services, but what I did was I literally ran an update on it, and it pulled everything down and updated all the VCI versions, and then it was fine. So if you select on the diagnostics, you'll get a list of all the car manufacturers that you can check with this device. Obviously you've got the menus across the top for specific continents. To move between that is up and down. To move between the models is sideways, so you just move the screen to the left hand side. I found I got a blank screen, as you can see here. Like I say, this was because I hadn't updated the device. So once that was done, we was okay and we could get the menus. Looking at the bottom tabs, M should bring you back to the main screen, and the home will take you to the actual workings of the Android device. So that's by clicking on the home device, and then just click on the M again, and that'll bring you back to the menu. This is the workshop info where you can add your actual workshop, your garage. This is the history of vehicles you've actually viewed. So all this will get shown later on in the video. This is just a quick walkthrough of the device So you can save images, do screen prints. Training, I'll show you that later on, what you actually see. This shows you how to use the device through video tutorials. There's some manuals of how to use the device, which are in PDF format. It does have sound on it, but there is no speaker icon as I can see, although I did manage to get into an equalizer function on it. So, network looks to have Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. The sound volume there. Fault codes, you can just roll the numbers, and it'll actually give you the meaning of the fault code. Say back to diagnostics. As you can see, I'm just moving it across. All this running through what I'm doing at the moment is without it being actually connected to the car. So later on we'll connect it to the car. I'm just giving you an idea of what machines you can, what car models you can actually connect it to. This time I've got a CRMAX connected, and I'm going to do an oil reset on it. As you can see, you've got a menu at the top which will allow you to select the continent, or you can leave it on all and just browse, but you'll have a longer list, so it just takes you a few seconds longer. So like I say, this is a CRMAX. So once again we'll click on the CRMAX, then we can ask it to read the VIN, and this now needs a VCI update, which is an update for it to allow it to connect to the car. So this needs to be done, and you need to have a Wi-Fi connection. But once it's connected, you download, and it doesn't take long to update, and the tool's up and running again within a few moments. So now we can ask it to read the VIN. Read the VIN, OK that, and then decide what we want to do. This actually is a CHYB engine, so we'll select that engine, verify that the information is correct, so So we're doing an oil reset on this, a minor. Once again, select the function, follow the on-screen instructions, select the mileage that we want before we change the oil again. There we go, application complete. There we go, another car done. So I'm going to run a diagnostic session this time, and this is still connected to the See It Me. So I'll select EU and then the car manufacturer, which is See It. Then we'll do a VIN read again. Ask it to read it. OK with that to accept. And then we're going to select the engine model. OK that. And then we'll do an auto scan, which will scan all the modules rather than manually going in and selecting the control module directly. As you can see, we've got some faults showing already. This is only a small car, so there's not many modules on it. Some can take a few minutes based on the size of the car and the equipment that's on it. What we can do is look at that. That's the report. Save it. And then we'll do a quick erase, which is should erase all the modules and should all come back OK, unless there's a persistent fault. So we can see quite a lot of information on each of the modules. You can see there security access, which you'll probably need a special login ID, similar to what you do when you use VCDS and some of the other equipment. So this is where we can do things like basic settings, adaption, view live data. It's not a bad size display on this unit. Quite a robust tool. Seems quite well made. And the other thing I like about it is there's a flip back rest for it, so you can actually stand it up whilst working on your car, so it's not face down or face up. But yeah, got some good functions on it. Okay, so this tool comes with an history function as well. If you save while you're actually running diagnostics, what it does is displays the vehicle information and VIN number. It doesn't actually save the faults unless you choose to record this function, but it does allow you to connect quickly to the car without going through the other options. So like I say, you can quickly run through and diagnose the same things on that car. So not a bad feature. So this is doing a quick diagnostics on a CR MAX. So we'll go through the reading the VIN number. Okay, that. Select the engine model. We can do a scan of the different modules. These are the functions that you can see in the actuation tests, live data, basic settings and so on. You may also notice that it's got the voltage of the battery in the top right corner. They're just scrolling through some of the live data functions. You can see you just select the ones that you want. So there's plenty of features on this tool. Obviously all functions won't work for all cars, but as a generic tool, seems to have a lot going for it. The battery in it seems to last a hell of a long time, which I was quite impressed with. This menu gives you access to the basic settings, which allows you to adapt things like the throttle body and other things, as you can see in the list. For an oil reset, we'll click on service and oil. We're looking for a Volkswagen Polo, which is what we're doing the oil service reset on. Then we've got an option after this to select either to identify the vehicle and read the VIN, or we can select the model manually. I'll select the model manually so that you can actually see some of the models that are available to do an oil reset on. So we're looking for a VW Polo 6C. This is a 2014 model. So we scroll across to the right until we get to VW Polo. Click on the 6C 2014 and now display the VIN information. So we can do an automatic or a manual reset. So I've selected manual in this instance, and then it will give you instructions to turn the ignition on and off as required, and then just follow the screen for a minor unless you're doing a full. And then we have options what to select as part of the minor, as into the how frequent to change the oil. So follow the instructions again, select the service schedule, and that's it, complete. Okay, while it's still connected to the VW, I'll select on the service and then the injector option. So we'll select the VW again. I've noticed that if the cars aren't available, that feature, then it doesn't tend to show in the list of items. So I'll ask it to read the identity of the VIN and click OK, and then select the model, which is a 6C, injector matching, OK. This is a 3-cylinder car, so we should see 3 injectors. Follow the steps, ignition on, OK. There's the 3 injectors. I'm just going to go one step further and then back out of this, because obviously I don't want to recode my injectors. So what we do is OK. You can see the injectors there, and then I'll click cancel and back out. Okay, from the services function, I'll just see interrogate the VW Polo just to see if it can see the battery module. So once again, read the VIN, read successful, and apply that. Okay, you can see it can see car details and make sure the ignition's on. Reads the battery OK. Okay, while still on the Polo, I'll run a diagnostics. So I'll scroll down to the VW while focused on the EU on the top bar. Do a read of the VIN identity and click OK. Select the model, which is a 6C. OK that, and then we'll do an auto scan. So this is in real time, so it's pretty quick. Like I said before, it's only got a few modules on it. I always get a few faults on this regarding the radio being out of date, climate control because the car needs regassing. So what we do is we can do a read. There's the faults. You can save them if you like, or we can go back and then we'll do a clear fault memory. There we go. And the fault's still persistent on the faulty items that won't clear, i.e. the car needs regassing. We'll go back to the main menu. Okay, so this is doing an oil reset on an Audi A5 3-litre TDI. So pick the service function. I'll do a VIN discovery, and then we'll select the model of car. This A5 is a 2016. It's a coupe. The engine code is a CKVC. Accept the model. I'll do an automatic scan. Ignition on. Do a minor oil reset. And we'll select the mileage. This is my own car, and to be honest with you, I tend to change the oil every 4,000 miles because it's a cam chain, so I'm not taking any risks on that. So just run through some of the features and go back. Click exit, and that's done. So while still on the Audi A5, I'm going to go to Diagnostics and do a scan of the ECUs for any error codes they've got. And select the Audi again. Let it auto identify the VIN, read and OK that. Select the A5 3-litre TDI. Select the correct engine code and OK that. Then we've got a choice to auto scan, select the control unit, or do a service reset. So what I'm going to do is do a full auto scan. This will take a while because there's a lot of different module on this car. You can see we're on 14 modules already. So if you do know which module's causing the error, then you can select that directly. Sometimes it's worth going through to see what the fault codes are on the car, because this can actually be the reason that it's causing the other fault code on another module. So it's worth giving it a full scan. Like I say, lots of modules on this car. I always get a rear view camera fault on this car for some reason. It tends to not work sometimes when I put it in reverse, especially when I've washed it. So I've just accepted it. So that's a list of the errors we've got. You can see I can either clear all the faults or I can clear the individual faults on each module. There we go, displaying the existing fault codes. Still got one fault on the rear camera. Back again. No faults. They can run a report, save it, exit, and we're done. So I run a diagnostics on a Smart for 2451. Select EU from the top ribbon. Smart as the manufacturer, and then I'll do a vehicle select, manual select, and select the model. This is a 2012 car, incidentally, and it's a petrol. So I'll do a quick auto scan. Make sure the ignition key is on. Only a few modules on this car, but it has got an issue with the rear ABS sensor, which we'll show in a moment. So I read the fault codes. That's one fault that's showing, and then I'll actually run it on the stability. Erase the codes, exit, and we're done. I'll just do a quick walk through of the user data that's been captured. So user data, report, and then you can see we've got 3 menus at the top. can delete them if need be. This is an handy feature I found, that you can actually do, look at training videos that actually show you how to use it. Select the video player to open. Nice interesting feature if you're not used to using a diagnostics tool. So we'll go through some of the user data reports and playback. You have to actually generate a report, so we'll quickly go through that. So we go to user data. If we look at the reports, you can actually see one I've generated there, but we'll click on playback. Select the reports that we want, whether it be live data, fault code, missed data, and then click on the icon next to the wheelie bin. Then we actually click on the top right hand corner to generate it, enter the information and click OK. It does actually display the path there, but I will show that later on. So if you want to click on one of the PDFs, you can actually open that and view the report. You could email that printer if you've got a printer connected, but that's just briefly what that functionality does. Okay, so once we've got the reports that are in the user data, what we can do is go to the internal storage on the device by clicking on the home button. Once we're in there, we'll click on the Explorer icon, which is the 1 second from the left at the top. Click on internal shared storage. Go to the diag file, PDF, and these are the PDF reports that we've generated. Now if you want to copy these to storage, what you do is you click on it, and then the third from the right icon, which is copy, and then we go to our internal storage, our USB storage, which is the second one down, and then click on the paste icon, which is again the third from the right hand side, and then that will copy it to the USB device. Then you can actually open that. In conclusion, would I buy the Icarsoft CR MAX? Yes, specifically if I'd not got a particular brand or model and I needed something that was universal, lifetime updates, good price, with lots of functionality, then yes, I would buy this tool. Good long battery life, great tool.